Welcome to our exploration of ecosystem services, a concept that's transforming how we understand the natural world and its value to society. Ecosystem services refer to the many benefits that humans receive from healthy, functioning ecosystems, such as clean air, water, food, and even cultural inspiration. In this video, we'll break down the key concepts, real-world applications, and the importance of protecting these vital services. Let's begin by understanding why ecosystem services matter for our well-being and prosperity. Ecosystem services are essential for human existence, health, and prosperity. They underpin everything from the food we eat to the air we breathe. As our environments deteriorate, so do the services they provide, making it crucial to maintain healthy ecosystems. Governments, communities, and resource managers are increasingly adopting an ecosystem approach to decision-making, aiming for multiple benefits for both landowners and society. This shift is vital for ensuring a sustainable and resilient future. What exactly are ecosystem services? They are the benefits provided to humans through the transformation of natural resources, like land, water, vegetation, and atmosphere, into essential goods and services. Think of clean air, freshwater, food, and even recreational opportunities. Historically, humans have focused on direct benefits such as crops, often overlooking the less visible but equally crucial services like pollination, soil fertility, and pest control. When these hidden services are lost, they can be expensive or even impossible to replace. Many ecosystem services go unnoticed until they stop functioning. For example, the regulation of climate, water flow, and nutrient movement often becomes apparent only when disruptions lead to problems like climate change or soil erosion. A classic case is the collapse of fisheries, which can happen suddenly even after years of stable catches. Similarly, replacing native vegetation with crops can lead to rising groundwater and soil salinity, causing long-term damage to both production and biodiversity. Ecosystem services have often been left out of economic calculations, with their loss counted as externalities. When these externalities become significant, such as the cost of restoring degraded rivers, it becomes a priority to understand and value ecosystem services. Maintenance and restoration of natural ecosystems are essential for sustained community well-being and economic prosperity. Recognizing these services in economic frameworks helps ensure their continued flow. Ecosystem is a dynamic community of plants, animals, microorganisms, and their non-living environment, all interacting as a functional unit. Inputs like sunlight, soil, nutrients, and water drive these systems, while waste from one part become resources for another. The cycling of energy and materials through living organisms is central to ecosystem function, and this process has evolved over millions of years in response to disturbances and stresses. Humans modify ecosystems to meet their needs, like agriculture or urban development. They often require additional inputs such as fertilizers and pesticides. While these can boost production, they may also lead to negative impacts like water pollution. Cities themselves are human-dominated ecosystems, relying on resource flows and producing waste that must be managed. Increasing recycling and reuse can help shift these systems closer to natural cycle. Biodiversity, the variety of animals, plants, and microorganisms, their genetic differences, and their organization into populations and ecosystems, is fundamental to ecosystem services. It directly provides food and fiber and supports clean water and air through energy and material cycles. Changes in biodiversity can reduce an ecosystem's ability to supply essential services, affecting both ecological and human systems' resilience. Relationship between biodiversity, ecosystem resilience, and service production is complex. The combination of species in an ecosystem matters for its capacity to deliver services. Maintaining ecosystem structure is critical, as is retaining biodiversity richness, which acts as natural insurance against service loss. Modified ecosystems may provide some services, but often lack the resilience and diversity of natural systems. Even small patches of native vegetation can play a crucial role in providing ecosystem services. They act as stepping stones, refuges during tough conditions, and sources for species dispersal. For instance, woodland remnants in agricultural landscapes are essential for regenerating ecosystems. These small areas help maintain biodiversity and support the resilience of larger landscapes. Resilience is the capacity of an ecosystem to maintain its functions and structure in the face of disturbances. It's like a bicycle wheel, lose too many spokes and it fails. Resilient systems can absorb shocks and continue to provide services. Biodiversity at multiple levels, species, functional groups, and populations contributes to resilience, helping ecosystems recover from events like droughts, fires, or disease outbreaks. Coral reefs are a powerful example of resilience in nature. Healthy reefs can recover from bleaching events if conditions like water quality and fish diversity are maintained. However, factors like overfishing, nutrient runoff, and climate change can reduce resilience, making recovery difficult or impossible. Maintaining ecosystem health is key to ensuring reefs and other systems can bounce back from disturbances. Connectivity between habitats is vital for maintaining ecosystem services and resilience. As landscapes are developed, remnant areas can become isolated, reducing the flow of species and genetic material. This isolation weakens the overall resilience of the landscape. Strategies like conserving remnant biodiversity, building ecological corridors, and restoring depleted ecosystems help strengthen resilience and ensure ongoing service provision. Ecosystem services are diverse and can be grouped into four main categories: provisioning like food and water, regulating such as flood and disease control, supporting like nutrient cycling, and cultural including spiritual and recreational benefits. The Millennium Ecosystem Assessment Framework helps us identify and analyze these services, understand their dependencies, and make better decisions for sustainable management. Provisioning services are the tangible products we obtain from ecosystems. These include food, fresh water, fuel, fiber, and genetic resources. They are often the most visible and directly valued in markets. However, their continued availability depends on the health of the underlying ecosystem and the supporting services that maintain it. Regulating services help control natural processes, ensuring stability and productivity. These include climate regulation, flood control, disease regulation, pollination, and water purification. While some regulating services have been artificially supplied, such as pest control, others like climate regulation are only now being recognized and valued in markets, for example through carbon trading. Supporting services are the foundation of all other ecosystem services. They include nutrient cycling, soil formation, primary production, and habitat provision. These processes are often long-term and less visible but are essential for maintaining life on Earth. Without supporting services, provisioning and regulating services could not exist. Cultural services encompass the non-material benefits people obtain from ecosystems, such as spiritual enrichment, recreation, education, and aesthetic experiences. These services contribute to our sense of place and well-being. While harder to quantify, they are deeply valued by communities and often drive conservation efforts. Ecosystem services can be thought of as natural capital, alongside social and physical capital. While some services have clear market values, many are undervalued or not priced at all. This undervaluation leads to unsustainable resource use and environmental degradation. Recognizing the full economic value of ecosystem services is essential for sustainable decision-making. Total economic value of ecosystem services includes both use values, direct and indirect, and non-use values, option, existence, and bequest values. For example, direct use values include food and recreation, while non-use values reflect the importance of preserving ecosystems for future generations or simply for their existence. When ecosystem services are undervalued, the impacts can be severe: species extinction, polluted air and water, and declining soil health. These environmental externalities often have economic costs that rival or exceed the value of the markets that caused them. Recognizing and addressing these costs is crucial for long-term sustainability. Market failures occur when the benefits or costs of ecosystem services are not fully reflected in prices. For instance, dryland salinity in Australia is a result of delayed impacts from land clearing, with costs spread across time and space. Addressing market failures requires new approaches to valuing and managing ecosystem services. As awareness grows, new markets are developing for previously undervalued ecosystem services. Examples include carbon trading, biodiversity auctions, and water rights. These markets aim to incentivize the protection and sustainable use of ecosystem services, aligning economic interests with environmental outcomes. Pilot project in the Goulburn-Broken region of Australia engaged the local community to value a wide range of ecosystem services. By developing an inventory of services and analyzing their use, the project helped landholders make informed decisions about land use. This participatory approach encouraged investment and self-regulation for better environmental management. Goulburn-Broken project identified priority ecosystem services linked to various land uses, such as pollination, climate regulation, pest control, and maintenance of soil and water health. By mapping these services, communities could better understand the trade-offs and synergies involved in different land management practices. Measuring ecosystem services is essential for effective management. While some services are easily quantified, like crop yields, others, such as water purification or carbon sequestration, require more complex assessment. International efforts like the Millennium Ecosystem Assessment have developed frameworks for evaluating the supply, condition, and sustainability of ecosystem services. Globally, the Millennium Ecosystem Assessment used input-output accounting to evaluate ecosystem condition and productivity. In Australia, environmental accounts track the depletion and addition of natural assets. These efforts help integrate environmental data into economic decision-making, supporting more sustainable policies. Data for provisioning services like food and fiber are generally available through government statistics. However, these data may not reflect whether production is sustainable. For example, agricultural statistics track yields but may not account for long-term soil health or water use, which are critical for ongoing productivity. Supporting services like habitat provision and soil formation are harder to measure but vital for ecosystem health. Data sources include vegetation mapping and soil information systems. For example, the National Vegetation Information System and the Australian Soil Resources Information System provide valuable insights for managing these foundational services. Regulating services like pollination, water purification, and climate regulation are increasingly being measured. For instance, water quality data can indicate the effectiveness of wetlands in purifying water. Similarly, carbon storage measurements underpin carbon offset programs, linking ecosystem health to climate change mitigation. Australia's National Carbon Accounting System tracks greenhouse gas emissions from land-based activities. Recent research shows that mature natural forests store more carbon than plantations and provide a broader range of ecosystem services. This highlights the importance of integrating carbon storage with other ecosystem values for comprehensive management. Cultural services, such as recreation and heritage values, are often measured using tourism data or real estate pricing. For example, the economic value of the Great Barrier Reef is partly assessed through tourism revenue. While harder to quantify, these services are significant drivers of conservation and community engagement. Measuring ecosystem services faces several challenges: limited knowledge of ecological processes, variable timeframes, and the non-transferability of research across ecosystems. For example, the effects of land use changes may take decades to become apparent, and solutions effective in one ecosystem may not work in another. Natural resource management is shifting from simply protecting ecosystems to investing in them for sustainable development. This broader approach uses a mix of market-based tools, public-private investments, and cooperative arrangements to achieve multiple benefits for land, water, and ocean management. A variety of policy tools are used to promote biodiversity conservation and ecosystem services. These include information and extension programs, financial incentives like grants and rebates, market-based mechanisms such as auctions and offsets, and regulatory frameworks. Each tool has its strengths and can be combined for maximum impact. Market-based instruments like biodiversity offsets and conservation auctions are being trialed across Australia. Programs such as bush tender and biobanking allocate conservation contracts or offset biodiversity loss through development. These tools help align economic incentives with environmental outcomes, encouraging landholders to participate in conservation. Victoria's Eco-Tender program is an innovative auction system that rewards landholders for delivering multiple environmental outcomes. Proposals are assessed based on environmental benefits and cost-effectiveness. The program has protected native vegetation, improved water quality, and sequestered carbon, demonstrating the value of integrated approaches. Effective management of ecosystem services requires a range of skills: understanding ecological processes, valuing and measuring services, fostering cooperation, and providing incentives. Clear roles and responsibilities, along with training, are essential for maintaining or restoring ecosystem services. Private sector and philanthropic organizations play a growing role in biodiversity conservation. Ethical investment, environmental reporting, and land acquisition for conservation are increasingly common. These efforts complement government actions and help ensure the maintenance of critical ecosystem services. Ecosystem services underpin human existence, health, and prosperity. Biodiversity is central to their production, and resilience is essential for their continued delivery. Many services remain undervalued, leading to unsustainable use and environmental degradation. A comprehensive ecosystem services approach helps reduce market failures and support sustainable development. Ecosystem services are part of a broader set of capitals that form the foundation of a nation's wealth: natural capital, ecosystems and biodiversity; social capital, community networks and values; and physical capital, infrastructure. Recognizing and investing in all forms of capital is key to long-term prosperity. New markets for ecosystem services like carbon trading and environmental water flows are emerging. As these markets mature, it's important to ensure that they are well aligned to avoid unintended consequences. Supporting tools like labeling and legislation help reduce market friction and promote sustainable outcomes. Information and legislative tools are being developed to support ecosystem service markets. For example, environmental labeling helps consumers make informed choices, while legislation sets minimum standards and monitoring requirements. These measures help ensure that ecosystem services are protected and valued appropriately. As we move forward, the challenge is to deepen our understanding of ecosystem services, improve measurement and valuation, and integrate these insights into policy and practice. By doing so, we can ensure that ecosystems continue to support human well-being and prosperity for generations to come. In summary, ecosystem services are the foundation of life and prosperity. By recognizing their value, protecting biodiversity, and fostering resilience, we can create a sustainable future. Whether through policy, markets, or community action, everyone has a role to play in safeguarding the natural systems that support us all.